I never intended to become a fitness coach. Somehow it made me feel that I'm doing nothing, sitting at home just taking care of the baby, and the whole world is going forward, moving ahead, and I'm just wasting time. Although that's not the right thing to do and the right way to think about it, but that's what pregnancy does to you. Like कोई पतला है तो उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि that's a disease free body, और कोई मोटा है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो unhealthy है.
So what should be the advice to them for kids' health at a very early age?
Movement. Most of the school going kids, if you see, very, very small percentage goes out unless and until they are booked for a class, for a sports class, or you will see a very small percentage going out and playing outside in the garden or lawn. So ये जो टाइम आता है perimenopause can start अभी तो थोड़े late 30s से भी चालू होता है. Usually it's considered as 40s से लेके 45 तक कभी भी start हो सकता है. मतलब once you are in 40s it can start at any time. Like if you have started doing strength training at the right age, then it helps you like age gracefully. क्यों ऐसा क्यों है? मतलब when if women can cry, women can talk about all these issues, or mentally if they are struggling, they are free to express. Why not men?
Hello everyone, welcome to Variety with Vishwam, and today we have a very interesting guest and she's going to explain us how to stay fit. As we have been talking about a lot of aspects about fitness on Variety with Vishwam. We have been talking about mental health, physical health, staying fit, losing weight. Lot of aspects we have already covered. Now today we are going to talk about how can we simplify everything, where we make it simpler for us to live a healthier life. So thank you very much, Rituji.
Thank you, Vishwam, for having me here, and it's really a privilege. Exactly the point today here, and we'll be emphasizing on keeping things simple and simplifying fitness, and that's what even Ritu's Fitness Hub stands for.
Right.
Fitness Simplified.
Right. So, ma'am, if I may ask you, so as you had shared earlier, you had always shared that you have always been an active person. So then, how did you get into fitness? How did you really, what happened where you thought that let's start something in fitness, or you started serving as a fitness coach?
Okay, it was not a very simple or straightforward journey. I mean, I never intended to become a fitness coach, and never in my wildest imagination. But yes, to start with, during my school life, my college days, I was always into sports. So sports and music was part of my life. And having said that, I didn't play any particular sport at a national level or anything, but I was fairly active. And that continued even during my college days. And after that also, I always had a liking for, going for long walks, cycling. So you can give the credit to the inherent thing or genes, whatever you can call it. But yes, I was like that. But then after my daughter's birth, now she's a teenager. So when she was born, that was the time I actually decided, no, I need to do something else, something extra to get into shape. When I say shape, it doesn't mean I was always thin. Not on the bulkier side. I never put on weight during my pregnancy also. So that was the time when I thought, no, I need to do something. I lack in energy. I lack in, that mental stability. A lot of other things started bothering me. And that's when I decided that, okay, I need to do something. And I started fitness as a client myself. And then things started happening, and rest is history. After I did my certification and everything, I became a fitness coach.
So what kind of certifications did you take before becoming?
A lot of them. So to begin with, the basic certification at that time which was required was the Reebok certification as a fitness coach. I became a step coach, at the aerobics coach, and we did the group training courses. We did the master functional training, and Pilates training, lot of other things. So we kept on, I kept on exposing myself to education, certification, and so I got interested into knowing fitness in a deeper sense. So I started studying, I started taking certifications, and that's how my fitness journey started.
Okay. Okay. Now, what were the kind of health challenge, fitness challenges which you faced while you first got into making yourself fit?
As I mentioned, the birth of my daughter, like after maybe an year or so, I would just quote that was not the only thing. Yeah, that could be one of the trigger point, I would say, which made me realize, okay, I need to do something. So, with a lot of women, it happens if you're not active, if you're not taking care of your mental and physical health, of your nutrition, then you tend to carry a lot of belly, tummy weight and weight in the belly area after your pregnancy. And it is sometimes difficult to lose that. And you really need to have a plan. You really need to take care of your movement, of your nutrition to get rid of that. And if you have taken it very lightly in the initial days, then it becomes tougher and tougher. Although it's not that you can't do it, but it gets difficult. So there was a time that someone visited us, and that family friend of ours commented that, are you expecting the second time? So that was like a shock for me, that the belly was so prominent that she thought that I was expecting the second time. So these things, these kind of things. And then, of course, I mentioned that mentally I was feeling very not at a very good position, not at a very good stage, because I was working all this while because of pregnancy, because of the childbirth. I took a break from there. And then somehow it made me feel that I'm doing nothing, sitting at home, just taking care of the baby. And the whole world is going forward, moving ahead. And, I'm just wasting time. Although that's not the right thing to do and the right way to think about it, but that's what pregnancy does to you. There are a lot of blues, pregnancy blues that you face, and after pregnancy, like after delivery, that you face these situations. You need to take care and handle them really well. Otherwise, it can take you downhill.
Right. We'll come back to this topic again, but we'll try to go in a little structured way where I will try to understand, and I will also try to make the consumers understand, the people who consume our content regularly, where we are specifically talking about two sides of the coin, is the women's health and men's health, and what men need to understand about women's health, and what women need to understand about men's health, because in the end there most of the people live as a life partner together. They're married, and married is a institution, and they have said that men and women are the best friends to each other. Then why not to be the best friend to keep each other healthy? So it's always good when a couple has their fitness goals. It always helps. That is what I've heard from a lot of people, and that creates a balance also. That also creates a common interest. So at the stage when women is just touching the puberty, and the basic goal for the family becomes is कि भाई शादी करवानी है. Either someone is skinny or too healthy. I'll not call fat, because they are healthy, they've gained extra fat, and ठीक है. तो दोनों केस में यही होता है कि भाई शी शुड आइदर गेन वेट. शादी के लिए भाई 16 साल 15-16 साल से या तो वेट लॉस करवाओ या तो वेट बढ़वाओ. दो प्रेशर आपके शुरू कहीं ना कहीं हो जाते हैं. सो इन दिस, व्हाट इज दैट वन मैसेज टू पीपल about women's fitness at a very early age?
Most of the people get confused when we talk about fitness. Fitness is more about your physical health, okay? Or the physical part of the health. And when we talk about health in general, it's the physical and the mental health both. And on top of that, the third point, which covers everything, is wellness. Okay, for me, if you ask, you should be, actually looking it from the wellness perspective for any person, whether it's a man or a woman. So when we talk about wellness, it includes everything: your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, your lifestyle, everything, right? So, and considering the time that we are living in, it's very important that we take care of everything. Now, coming back to your question that, okay, if that's the time and if it's you're too thin, you are supposed to, people ask you to add on, put on some weight, eat, go, don't you eat anything? I have faced that myself. And then if you are a little on the heavier side, then people will be like, no boy will select you, marry you, and you need to lose some weight, you need to look good. So this obsession about, the body, the figure, structure, how you look is killing everybody, and everybody was in loss. I mean, it actually deprived you from your mental health or mental wellness. It takes a toll on a lot of level, emotional, mental, and lot of other level. So when you start talking about the body's shape and size, it doesn't determine anything. लाइक कोई पतला है तो उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि दैट्स अ डिजीज फ्री बॉडी, और कोई मोटा है तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो अनहेल्दी है. एंड यू विल बी सरप्राइज टू नो दैट मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल गेट इट रॉन्ग, क्योंकि हमारा जो जिम कल्चर जो हमने पढ़ा है, या जो ज़्यादा लोगों ने पुश किया है, वो ये बता के कि नहीं, अगर इफ़ यू आर ओबीस, अगर आपका बीएमआई, स्पेशली इन द जिम्स, अगर आपका बीएमआई इतना है, तो अगर आप ओबीस हो तो दैट्स मतलब यू आर एट अ हेल्थ रिस्क. दैट्स नॉट अ क्लियर कट इंडिकेटर. सो ये सारी चीज़ें, इट नेवर गिव्स यू अ क्लियर पिक्चर. व्हाट इज़ मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट इज़ टू चेक द वेलनेस लेवल ऑफ अ पर्सन. सो अगर वो सही है, if a person is little on the healthier side, even if the BMI is higher, you never know. It may be a disease-free body. It may be a mind which is very happy and healthy. And you can see a thin person, you may feel कि okay, इसमें कोई health issue नहीं होना चाहिए, but that body can be full of metabolic health issues. So it has nothing to do with your health and wellness. So it's weight ने इतना दिमाग में इतना कचरा भर दिया है कि लोग उसको फिल्टर करके, उसको अलग करके कुछ सोच ही नहीं पाते हैं. सो दैट्स नॉट द राइट अप्रोच, एंड इट टॉर्चर्स, इट एक्चुअली बहुत सारी एंग्जाइटी देता है, स्पेशली ग्रोइंग अप एज में. कोई आपको इसी चीज़ के लिए बुली करे या आपको बॉडी शेमिंग करे, it takes you to another level, and it's very difficult to come out of it. Not everybody is capable of coming out of it on their own. So we have to take care of that part. More than anything, it's not the health part which is connected to the thin or the obese part. It's the stigma attached to it.
Right. And also probably the genetics of that person, that whether you come from a hereditary where you're slim, your weight,
that is there. I mean, you can talk about that. You can give the credit to genetics, and also even if you the obesity or the prosperity flows in is there in your genetics, but you can definitely work on that, and you can change the way you look. So that is also doable. I mean, you can't give that as an excuse कि genetically ऐसा है इसलिए ये है, but yes, अगर है भी तो that can be managed.
Right. Now, which are the best tips if someone is there in this age bracket? What are the best tips you would like to give to that person? If that
Which
person,
age bracket you're talking about?
Again, 16
marriage
before marriage.
Okay, before marriage. The teenage time.
The teenage, 15 to 21 as an age bracket. If someone is skinny, what kind of things that person should do so that he or she can move to wellness?
Okay. At this age, I mean, I have a teenage daughter at home. So I know how it plays on their mind about their looks and how they look, how their body, looks, and how other girls talk about it. I mean, it has become a major issue these days. So whether you have added extra weight or how you look, or whether you are too thin or too bulky, that plays a major role. So forget about the physical part of it. Mentally, it is very unhealthy to talk only about how you look Okay, all the time. I'm not saying, I'm not giving, taking that thing out. Ki aesthetics doesn't play any role. It always feels good when you look into the mirror and you're looking nice, you're looking smart, and you're happy with the way you look. So that's an added benefit, but that should not be the only criteria. Okay, so the best thing to do is keep yourself active. When I say active, वो चीज ही missing है इस generation से. Because our hard luck that COVID struck. Okay, COVID went on for quite a long time. So people were not allowed to go out. The kids at that age category, they were exposed. Those even, those kids who were not even aware, or their parents were keeping them away from all the digital thing. They had to give them, because there was no way out. They had to sit at home, they had to do everything, attend the classes through your digital medium and everything through that. So that happened, that took the health or the physical fitness part out of the window. So that created a lot of problem. And after that, that thing continued, even though everything started, but people got hooked onto those things so much so that, okay, it became a norm. Okay, staying indoors. And most of the school going kids, if you see, very, very small percentage goes out unless and until they are booked for a class, for a sports class, or you will see a very small percentage going out and playing outside in the garden or lawn. So that is a major issue. You should go out, venture out, walk, run, play. That 1 hour of physical activity can bring a lot of change. You don't have to do too much of thing. You can eat good things. You don't have to eat healthy all the time. I mean, नहीं मतलब ये this is a growing age, so बच्चा should only eat healthy stuff. This is practically impossible, and especially when we have exposed our kids to so many things. They know how to book their food. They know what Swiggy and Zomato, how it gives you food in like 5 minutes, 10, 15, half an hour time. So when you have already exposed them to that, you can't be totally cutting them off. So you have to teach them the right way and make them understand what is nutrition and how you can be happy with what you're eating. You can always go out. There is nothing wrong in having, food that you like and enjoy, which are not considered healthy per se, which are counted as junk. But then you can always have it. But maintain the balance. So you know that, okay, this will have positive and this will have negative. That keeps you happy. Unhealthy, आप उनको healthy दे के उनको पूरा रुला के और जबरदस्ती वो ही खिलाओ, तो that will also not going to give you results. So that is there. Movement is there. Eating good food most of the time, with keeping the the time and space for giving them good food or the happy food that they like. And the third thing is exposing them to nature, taking them for trails, walks, and giving them the natural environment. So rather than that room and only staying inside and doing things over digital platform, expose them outside. These are the 2-3 things that are the basic requirements at that age. If that is taken care of, I don't think you will have any problem.
Right. Now, generally, at a very younger age, parents do not look up to kids' health. जब तक कुछ होता नहीं है, कोई टेस्ट में कुछ आता नहीं है, तब तक पेरेंट्स इतना ध्यान नहीं देते हैं. दिस इज अ फिनोमिना वेयर जो अवेयर पेरेंट्स होते हैं, जिनको ध्यान रखना होता है, जो करते हैं वो करते ही हैं. ऐसा नहीं है कि इंटेंट नहीं होता है पेरेंट्स का चेक करने के लिए. बट व्हाट इज द एडवाइस फॉर पेरेंट्स to keep in mind for healthier living for their kids today and tomorrow? Because whatever habits are formed, they're formed at the early age. So what should be the advice to them for kids' health at a very early age?
Movement. Just help them, push them. Or if you go out on a trek, that's a very good thing. If you go out for walks, take them along. Just expose them to this thing called movement, which is totally missing from this present situation, especially with the kids these days. Unless and until you have a class, as I mentioned, booked for, if you play a sport, you will not head out to play just on your own. So you don't have to go and get the kids checked every now and then to check if there is something wrong or right. Even the schools, they do their regular medical check, so that's good enough. You don't have to do anything extra, because kids body are like are very transparent and very beautiful, so they will signal you out if there is something wrong, and the signals are so clear that you will come to know. You just need to take care. You need to make sure that you are providing for them space to move, time to move, not burdening them with only things which are very structured. Give them scope, give them free play time, give them nutrition. When I say nutrition, you don't have to balance everything out. जो हम खाते हैं, मतलब just make it interesting and let them understand, okay, this is हमारा regular खाना, this is what we need to eat to make our body work, and we are not living to eat, right? It's not the only target. So ये चीज़ें आके इतना ज़्यादा दिमाग में बैठ जाता है कि लोगों का टेस्ट बड को लेके ही सारी चीज़ें और सारे डिसीजंस इन्वॉल्व होते हैं. Once in a while, going out, eating out with family, that's a very healthy thing, I would say. There is nothing wrong कि नहीं healthy खाना चाहिए. You can go out to restaurant, yes, with a family. That's, in a way, I'll say that's a very good practice. That will give you more benefit than you keeping the kid at home, feeding your kid the healthy stuff all the time. That will do more harm than good. So movement, good nutrition, and I would say a healthy environment which is full of positivity, full of love, affection. That is what they need to nourish to. And your job is to nurture them, and they will grow fine.
Right. Okay. So you want them to keep the kids active, have maybe various forms of activities can be introduced in their lives. If not exercising in any form, even sports can be one of those things which, as the sports in India is on the table, and especially in Ahmedabad, when we are looking at on the table, and a lot of sports complex are built up and a lot of things are happening, so promotion is there, so that could be one. Now moving to the next thing is when women is about to, which is an age bracket of between 21 to 30 when they get married and pre-pregnancy, what should be the preparation for them? Now there is thing that before you can have a kid, you need to be healthy, exercise, prenatal, postnatal exercising, and all these things are there. What is your advice for that? What should they do usually?
See, the 21 to 30 is a very, I would say, fertile period, and where your hormones are in, like, for most of us, the hormones are in very good shape, flowing, and it will do its job fine if you're living an active life, and if you are doing the right things, not doing anything extreme. So they will do your job. What you will be concerned that if you should be concerned about is, if you're not doing anything, you may not feel at that moment anything. You may not face the repercussions then. You will have to face it if you're not active, if you're not taking care of your food habits and all later on in life. So वो time तो आपका निकल जाएगा, because you have that youth energy in you, you have all the hormones helping you out. So ये सारे, unless with the current trend of eating habits, we have a lot of disorders like all the PCOS, PCOD thing, the thyroid issues, the diabetes, and this has come into picture recently because of the lifestyle that we are living. So making sure that your lifestyle is good. When I say lifestyle, everything. How you are sleeping. Are you sleeping enough, sleeping well? With most of girls, or for that matter even boys at that age, sleeping at erratic times, and that happens. I mean, you can't stop them, you can't force them to sleep unless and until they themselves will understand, okay, this will take a toll later in my life, so why not keep things on track from here on itself. Sleeping on time, following the circadian rhythm. When it's dark, you need to lower the lights. You can't be having the bright lights on. You need to switch off your digital, all the mediums that you watch your Netflix on or everything. Again, practically, if you ask me, it is impossible for many of us. We all are hooked on to all these things, the Prime, Netflix, and all of these things. But having a control, having a discipline, and you should know, okay, this is the time I should be devoting to watching Netflix, and now it's time to shut down. I should shut down and sleep, because that is also important, and that will affect my outcome next day. So having that understanding will help. Having, just understanding that if you are not recovering well, everything gets affected. Your overall physical health, mental health. If you didn't have a good night's sleep, your work next day gets affected. So ये सारी चीजें जब pile up होते जाती है, that becomes a disease, जो not at ease stage, right? So we don't want to wait for that. So watch it, take care of these things at the right time, at the right stage, by not doing anything extreme. You can't be asking a 21-year-old, 22-year-old boy or a girl to just shut off the screen at 10:30 and go off to bed. Although it's a very good habit on paper, and when we talk about it, it's a amazing habit to have. If you have, amazing. If you don't have, try to reduce your timing. So take one thing at a time, one step at a time. Make sure that you are hydrating yourself. It's such a simple thing. People don't understand. You'll see, because they are on their digital your
Laptops or
laptops
TVs
and
or
everything.
mobile and
Most
everything.
of the time they get headaches of a lot of other things, eye issues. They don't understand that simple as keep blinking your eyes, keeping your eyes shut for few seconds, few minutes in between can give a lot of relief to you. Having a glass of just getting up, moving and going, getting up and hydrating yourself can do magic. So simple things, simple changes, if you do, that's good enough. Yes, if you can add exercise at this stage of life, even if you if you have been active all your school days, then start exercise if you can afford to. Why not? So that is a good place to start and get into exercise.
Right. Now, one thing which took you to working out and staying fit, and where you also started your
Fitness
professional
journey.
journey in keeping people fit. So, post pregnancy, what are the tips and advices you would like to give to people that these are the areas you need to take care if you want to stay fit?
See, post pregnancy, most of the women in India, we have this thing very prevalent, that you need to eat all those laddus, which are very calorie dense, and they're supposed to be, to a certain extent, they do a lot of good also. Okay, but you have to understand what is the limit, what are you trying to achieve, and whether you need it at that point in time, those all the healthy stuff that we. So having ghee, nobody is saying it's bad, but how much to take? Okay, and if you're eating that, if you're eating all those healthy stuff that the post pregnancy the women are given to regain your strength, you need to definitely eat good stuff. You need to nourish your body and to make it work, because your body has just been through a lot of work. It's not an easy thing to give birth to a child, right? To recover out of this, you definitely need to eat. But then you, at the same time, you can't be just sitting and eating. So you have to understand, okay, you need to start, at least if your doctor gives a green signal, if it was a natural delivery, you should start moving. You should start walking. That's the simplest, the first thing that you can do. You can't be sitting on the bed all the time and eating all those so-called healthy stuff. Again,
So,
nothing against that. So you can have it, but in a balanced way, by making sure that you're also moving.
but from when do you recommend women to start exercising?
So it depends on case to case. If you have a cesarean, you definitely need to go to your gynec and get a green signal from gynec. I won't be the right authority to tell you that. But most of the time, it's like after 4 to 6 months, in most of the cases, they are ready, but with certain, guidelines. Okay, these are the things that you have to be careful of at this time, and then gradually we build up the strength.
Right. So you have to consult your gynec and the
Yes,
doctors,
yes.
and that is going to
If you
be
have a
important.
natural delivery, yes. I mean, you should get up and going whenever your body tells you to.
Right.
There's absolutely nothing wrong in that.
One quick question, which is in a way concerned to stay healthy and stay wellness, is to the mothers who just give a birth to the kids. Nowadays, there is, when we were raised, we were not given mobile phones. So, because post कोविड इतना टॉलरेंस लेवल कम हो गया है और इतना टॉलरेट कर दिया सबको कि अभी जितना हो उतना कम टॉलरेट करना है, तो तुम तुम्हारा काम करो, तुम तुम्हारा काम करो, एक ही घर में 2 अलग अलग रूम में सब लोग होंगे और फैमिली एक घर में होंगे पर पता नहीं चलेगा कि एक घर में है. ऐसा बहुत सारी जगह पे. बट एट द सेम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम माई क्वेश्चन हियर इज टू द मदर्स, रिगार्डिंग द मदर्स, after say 3-4 months of the kid, they've been given mobile phones. और हर घर में मैं कहीं ना कहीं जाता हूँ, मेरी बहन का बेटा है, मेरे कजिन का बेटा है, मेरा कोई भी फ्रेंड की बेटी है, तो वो 2 साल का है तो भी खाने के टाइम पे फ़ोन, वो 5 साल का है तो खाने के टाइम पे फ़ोन, और वो 10 साल का है तो भी खाने के टाइम पे फ़ोन. और फिर जब उससे बड़ा हो गया, फोन क्यों हटा रहे हो, फोन क्यों ले रहे हो? आपने पहले आदत डाल दी जब 2 महीने का था या 4 महीने का था तब से, और फिर आप 8-10 साल का हो गया उसके बाद में बोलते हो कि फोन नहीं लेने का. दिस आर नॉट टेबल मैनर्स. सो व्हेन डिड दैट टेबल मैनर्स गो, व्हेन इट वाज गिवन एट 2 months or 4 months old?
Interesting question, but I may not be the right person because this is for a parenting coach. And if I start answering this question, first person who will take objection to this is going to be my daughter and
That's
sitting
okay,
at home. But then, yes,
but
I would
casually,
just,
what candidly, without having any.
See, it's a very, parenting, I don't understand how can someone be taught parenting. Okay, it is a natural instinct. That's what I feel. I have seen a lot of parenting coach talking about this is what you should be doing, this is what you shouldn't be doing. It's a natural instinct. It comes once you become a parent. Okay? And everybody has their fair share of problems and issues to deal with. And we are no one sitting here and telling them, okay, this is what you need to do and this is how it should be done. सबके अपने अपने problems होते हैं. मुझे नहीं मालूम what that lady or the mother is going through managing the whole house maybe, and maybe she doesn't have an escape route, nothing to vent out, she doesn't get even 2 minutes of free time. So that could be her place to just
Escape.
feel free,
कि
escape
भाई
and
2
give
घंटा मिल जाए.
so इसलिए मतलब it's a very touchy topic, and if I get into it, it will not be fair on the
Right.
mothers there.
So yeah,
to
you have
each its
taken the
own.
mother's side this time. And one more thing about this is that you had further talked about it before this, that we need to do things in moderation. तो आपने बताया, पहले ये टॉपिक पे आपने जवाब नहीं दिया, पर आगे आपने जवाब ऑलरेडी दे दिया है कि इतना स्क्रीन टाइम नहीं होना चाहिए.
Correct.
So
Moderation is the
yes.
key to anything and everything in the world. आप कुछ भी चीज़ ले लो, अगर आप मॉडरेशन में, एंड इफ़ यू आर माइंडफुल ऑफ वॉट यू आर डूइंग, सो नथिंग बिकम्स पॉइजन टू यू. ट्रस्ट मी. मतलब कोई भी चीज़ ऐसी नहीं होती है. मतलब हमारे पेरेंट्स, मतलब सुबह, अभी हम अगर किसी न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट डाइटिशियन के पास जाओ, सुबह सुबह चाय नहीं पीना चाहिए. ये पहली चीज़, आप चाय कैसे पी लेते हो? हमारे पेरेंट्स पीते आ रहे हैं ना. You see them having a cup of tea and enjoying. They are happy doing that. That is what should matter. And it's not an extreme thing. कोई ये नहीं कह रहा है कि नहीं happiness देता है तो पियो, जितना चाय दिन में चाय पियो. But if that one cup of tea is giving them that happiness, that time to sit and chat and discuss issues and, and spend some good time with your spouse, why not?
Right.
So it's like that. Moderation is the key to everything.
Right. Abhi, now moving to the real conversation for which we have actually took out time and we're going to discuss this. Fitness, information about fitness and staying healthy is so scattered, and we have always talked about people, the importance of a coach, the importance of someone to guide. ठीक है, तो कल हम इसके पहले जो पॉडकास्ट में बात कर रहे थे वो फाइनेंशियल दैट वाज इन फाइनेंस, सो द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर. हम पैसे के लिए एडवाइजर मांगते, तो हेल्थ के लिए भी हमारा कोई कोच हो जो हमें गाइड करे कि ये करना चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए. क्योंकि वहाँ पे बात क्या आती कि भाई आपको जो ठीक लगता है आप करते हो, पर जो कोच है वो आपके गोल्स के लिए कोच बनता है कि भाई मुझे, आई वॉन्ट टू बी इन गुड शेप, I want to lose weight, I want to gain weight. Then the advisor comes and tells you ये करना चाहिए, ये नहीं करना चाहिए. पर उसके अलावा इतना सारा है कि कोई बोल रहा है ये करो, कोई बोल रहा है ये मत खाओ, ये बोल रहा है ये करो, कोई बोल रहा है तो फिटनेस के लिए अगर फिट रहना है ना तो तुमको ये प्रोटीन खाना पड़ेगा, ये टैबलेट्स लेनी पड़ेगी, फिट रहना है ना तो फिर आपको जिम पे जाना पड़ेगा. कोई बोलता है फिट रहना है तो आपको इतना स्ट्रिक्ट फॉलो करना है, अगर आप डिसिप्लिन में नहीं हो तो फिर आप तो फिट नहीं हो सकते हो. तो इतनी सारी चीजें हमारे बिजी लाइफ के अंदर या बिजी स्केड्यूल में कोई करने से डर जाता है कि जब मेरे पास टाइम होगा ना ये सब चीज़ों का और ये सब कॉम्प्लेक्स चीज़ें समझने का, तब मैं फिटनेस के लिए मैं करूँगा,
तब मैं उसमें घुसूंगा.
नहीं तब तक तो मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है मेरे पास
ये सब करने का.
हाँ, और इतना सब समझने का, इतना सब झमेला मैं नहीं पाल सकता हूँ. तो लोग वही छोड़ देते हैं.
राइट.
तो हाउ, व्हाट्स अ सिंपलर वे? इज इट रियली वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स टू स्टे फिट और इट्स जस्ट मेड डिफिकल्ट?
There are like two answers to it. It is simple. मतलब कोई बहुत बहुत ज़्यादा, unless and until you have a specific goal, staying fit is simple. But doing continuously and keeping on it, like you have to do it day in and day out, that is the tricky part. That is where people falter. बाकी चीज़ें सिंपल है, बहुत सारी सिंपल. आपको सिर्फ बोला जाएगा कि दिन में आप अच्छे से अपने आप को हाइड्रेट रखते हो, डू यू ड्रिंक इनफ वाटर? ओके, देन इफ समबडी आस्क्स यू कि आर यू ईटिंग इनफ, आर यू नरिशिंग योर बॉडी, राइट? आपको जब भूख लगती है, आपको नींद आती है और प्रॉपर आपको 7-8 घंटे आपको नींद मिलती है, ये सारी चीज़ें इट्स पार्ट ऑफ योर हेल्थ. Right? If you want to get into goals and if you have specific goals, if you really want to achieve something, if you want to build a physique, if you want to get better at something, then you definitely need a structured program, a person who can guide you the right way. बहुत सारे information available है. You Google fat loss, आपको 10,000 चीज़ें आएंगी. You Google मसल गेन, आपको काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें आएंगी. तो इन्फॉर्मेशन तो सब है, पर मोस्ट ऑफ द इन्फॉर्मेशन आउट देयर, हाउ डू यू सिलेक्ट, हाउ अ लेमैन पर्सन विल नो एंड सिलेक्ट कि मेरे लिए क्या है. ये इसने ये कहा है तो ये भी अच्छा है, उसने वो कहा है तो ये फास्ट रिजल्ट देता है. हाउ टू लूज वेट इन 7 days, हाउ टू बिकम दिस मस्कुलर इन 1 month. सो ये जो फैड सारी चीज़ें बना के रखी है, सो दे आर शेयरिंग, दे आर नॉट रॉन्ग, आई वुड से. आई एम नो वन टू कमेंट ऑन देम. दे आर रनिंग देयर ओन बिजनेस, दे आर अर्निंग मनी फॉर देमसेल्व्स, बट दे आर शेयरिंग देयर एक्सपीरियंस. यू डोंट हैव टू नेसेसरली गो एंड फॉलो देम. फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड कि चीज़ें आपके लिए काम करेगी कि नहीं, थोड़ा आपको दिमाग यूज़ करना पड़ेगा कि आप किन लोगों को फॉलो कर रहे हो. समवन हु इज़ जनरली जस्ट पुटिंग कि ये मेरे साथ हो, उनके साथ हुआ होगा पर ज़रूरी नहीं है दैट विल वर्क फॉर यू, राइट? सो यू शुड बी फॉलोइंग पीपल हु कैन एक्चुअली गाइड you the right way. There are, websites, there are organizations which gives you the right kind of instructions or right kind of knowledge. Knowledge is one thing which is missing out of all these Insta reel. वो 10 सेकेंड, 15 सेकेंड, 30 सेकेंड में जो बोल के चले जाते हैं just to gather those likes and just to get more traffic, उसके लिए वो जो highlight करके चले जाते हैं, वो सारी चीज़ें वो ही दैट्स द रियल कल्प्रिट जो पीपल आर गोइंग मैड आफ्टर फैड डाइट्स फैड एक्सरसाइज रूटीन दैट इज़ वॉट इज़ क्रिएटिंग प्रॉब्लम सो
Right.
इफ़ यू नो द राइट सोर्स चलो आपको राइट सोर्स नहीं पता है डू यू नो समवन द राइट पर्सन इन द इंडस्ट्री डू यू ट्रस्ट समवन डू यू नो समवन हु इज़ बीन देयर हु हैज़ नॉलेज इन दैट पर्टिकुलर फील्ड फॉलो देम लेट इट कम फ्रॉम देम
Hmm.
there is no harm in listening getting motivated from people watching insta reel absolutely okay bus motivate okay but don't follow whatever they are doing without knowing ki is this science backed or is this really help और या फिर ये उनके लिए किया अगर ठीक है कर भी लिया वी आर ऑल डिफरेंट शायद हमारे लिए ना भी करे सो मेक अ सेंसिबल चॉइस नॉलेज को प्रायोरिटाइज कीजिए एंड देन गो फॉर इट
Right, right. Now I would just want to go again on the same part is that अपने क्या क्या misconception है for in the fitness to stay fit. Which are the major misconception running in people's mind when you get a lot of people coming to you?
Oh, the list is long.
What's the major 5
Really.
misconception which you would want कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए प्लीज समझो ये तो बिल्कुल नहीं है इतन यानी आपको लगता हो कि ये बोलो अरे क्या सोच रहे हो आप लोग मिसकंसेप्शन ऐसे कुछ मिसकंसेप्शन होंगे ना कि ये आपके अगेंस्ट काम कर रहे हैं ऐसे कौन से 5 मिसकंसेप्शन मेजरली आपको सुनाई देता है
Okay, I'll try to list it down जो
हाँ,
मेरे दिमाग
थोड़ा
में
summary.
ऊपर से है so एक तो ये when it comes to women if you start with कि women should not be lifting weights okay women should be doing more of cardio because or aerobics or zumba to look a particular way because they need to reduce fat and so that brings to my second misconception that cardio is the only way आप cardio करते जाओ and cardio is important पर किस लिए important है वो भी आपको समझना ज़रूरी है so they feel cardio is the only way to do fat loss women should not be lifting weight which is been अभी तो काफ़ी awareness फैल रही है but still a long way to go if you will still see women कि I've started lifting heavy you think I'll start showing my muscles I'll start bulking up that's the most common question that I come across when I'm training at my studio. So ये सारी चीज़ें then you know लोगों के दिमाग में ये एक सेट हो गया है that it has to be like quick उनको quick result चाहिए but they forget that I usually tell my guy health is not a sprint you don't achieve fitness or health by just quick
हाँ वो दौड़ने से
fixes.
नहीं वो
It's a marathon. You have to do it like for a really endurance. लंबा टाइम तक कुछ चीज़ तुमको करना पड़ता है. There are habits that you need to inculcate. You need to make those habits. You need to follow certain things. And you don't have to starve yourself. ये भी कि मतलब फिटनेस और हेल्थ की बात आती है तो you have to eat healthy. मतलब बाहर का कैसे खा सकते हो? You have to know the right balance. So ये कुछ misconceptions है then again if you go to the gym जैसे मैंने बोला कि उनको लगता है कि अगर आपका BMI इतने से इतना है तो आप you are not that fit you are if you fall in obese category you are not fit you are thin तो आप fit हैं no that is also a very wrong indicator so and again another misconception would be you know gyms are meant for only men because men go there and make you know bulky arms and bulkier looking arms and so that is they fail to understand that is aesthetic the bodybuilding part of it it's not fitness so people you know keep using the wrong word in the wrong sense in the wrong place so these are the most common things that I come across
ऑलराइट तो ऋतु जी जैसे आपने बताया कि वेट ट्रेनिंग विमेन को नहीं करनी चाहिए अगर विमेन करेंगे तो मसल बिल्डअप हो जाएंगे वो बॉडी बिल्डर बन जाएंगे दे विल स्टार्ट लुकिंग लाइक मैन दिस इज व्हाट यू सेड इज द मिसकंसेप्शन सो हाउ डू यू डज इट रियली हैपन दैट वेज कि वेट उठाने से दे स्टार्ट लुकिंग लाइक men and how does that work
It's absolutely nonsense. I mean, when first thing to clarify is men and women are built up in totally two different ways. The hormone profile, the hormones are different. So, and the major hormone, testosterone, which is there in men, is there in women in very small quantity, right? So, that is the one which gives you that muscle definition and all. So, don't worry about that. So, women has actually have to think not from that perspective, but if they don't do strength training, if they don't lift weight, what can happen then? So that will do more harm rather than thinking about this, because this has no sense. I mean, it's not going to make you bulky unless and until you top it up with steroids and all, right? So they don't have to worry about that. Second, it is important for them to lift weight because it will help them with their mental health. It will help them in increasing the muscle mass in their body, which is very important for longevity, for good health, for after a certain age it takes care of their body like nothing. I mean, if you see women who have started lifting weights, and if you see them progressing, if you see them aging, they age gracefully, beautifully, right? So
Right.
you also have to tell them and make them aware about how it helps in taking care of their hormonal health. It plays a major role. If they start lifting weight at the right time, at the right say, even if they start lifting it little late also, it's never too late for them. It will definitely give them good benefits. So if they start lifting weight, it will keep their hormones flowing. And because as you know that after 40, 45, there are a lot of hormonal changes that women come across. So and because of that it affects their mental health, their physical health, the aging starts showing up on their face and everything. And if they know how to tackle these things, it gets much easier for them to get out of
Right.
this thing, this
Right.
problem.
Right.
So they must lift weights at least 2-3 times a week.
Right.
Rest of the days they can decide to do whatever they want to, yoga or cardio or whatever. There has to be a good combination. Strength has to be part of their routine.
बराबर. अभी और एक चीज यहाँ पे आई वुड लाइक द व्यूअर्स टू नो लिटिल go in a little deeper way. Usually we all came from villages. Our families, a lot of people belong to villages, and in fact 70% of India still stays in villages. They take away, पहले के ज़माने में पानी भरने जाते थे, अभी पानी सब जगह आ गया है, तो कुएं में पानी भरने जाते थे, एंड वो कुएं के पानी मटके का वजन मिनिमम 30-40 किलो का, तो 30 लीटर पानी, यानी इट वाज गुड अमाउंट ऑफ वेट. पहले आपने देखा हो तो 2-2 मटके ऊपर रख के
Right.
वो चल के जाते थे. सो दे वर होल्डिंग नियरली इक्वल अमाउंट ऑफ देयर वेट.
Correct.
तो उनको तो कभी मसल बने नहीं. तो आई डोंट नो फ्रॉम वेयर डिड दिस ग्रेप वाइन स्टार्टेड दैट अगर वजन उठाएंगे तो मसल बिल्ड हो जाएगा. दूसरी बात, वर्कआउट करना, यानी गांव में खेत पे द मेन यूज टू गो आउट फॉर वर्क. So men used to do a different kind of labor in the farm. Well, the women will do different kind of labor. गायों को संभालना, उसका दूध निकालना. अभी कोई लड़के को बोलो आज के टाइम पे गाय में से दूध निकालना, तो हालत खराब हो जाएगी. But women used to do it very well, and still they didn't gain weight.
Correct.
So how come they were strong? So they had longer lifespan. Along with all these things, दूध, वो दही का मक्खन निकालना, वो सब करते थे, तो भी वेट कभी नहीं बढ़ा, यानी उनका मसल मास कभी नहीं आया.
Right.
They used to also cook. So I don't know from where did this really happen.
Yes. And see, and now the time has changed. You don't see many women doing all those things. So that's an issue that earlier, so you would not have asked if they would have been doing the same work. So probably, you could have said, okay, they're still working. But now the time has changed. Your life has become much easier. You can't be sitting at home, you just working from chair and table and doing work on laptop. So that can't be considered as physical work, right? If there is no physical work, if you're not moving, then how are you going to burn the calories? And if you're not burning the calories, then what is there, how is it going to help you in, making your life better and losing weight? So you
Right.
have to incorporate movement. जो पहले था वो तो लाइफस्टाइल ऐसी थी कि वो हमको करना ही पड़ता था. अभी ऐसा कुछ है नहीं. तो you have to make a special effort. You have to move out of your house, go walk, go to the gym or go to the studio to work out. Do something, join a dance class, join something, some physical activity and make yourself active.
Right. Now, related to the weight training for women, does weight training really helps in increasing their age, long term life of themselves and their muscles, and living a better life towards the later half of their life, जहाँ पे अलग अलग विमेन रिलेटेड हेल्थ इशू आते हैं, जैसे एक एज आता है, देर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स नाउ, साइंस हैज़ ग्रोन, साइंस के बारे में रिसर्च हो गया है, बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं जो विमेन को आते हैं 50 साल की एज के बाद. क्या उसमें वो मदद करता है क्या?
बहुत सारे अमेजिंग बेनिफिट्स एंड इमेंस बेनिफिट्स. सो even if you, when I'm saying weight training, you can start with body weight training also. मतलब सिंपल आप शुरू में ही आपको heavy weights उठाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. You can just make use of your body weight and then gradually progress to lifting, the other weights. It increases. First thing that it does to your body is it increases your muscle mass in your body, right? So when the muscle mass is more, the body is built in such a way that अगर आपके बॉडी में मसल मास ज़्यादा है तो आप वैसे भी कैलोरीज बर्न ज़्यादा करोगे, बिकॉज दैट रिक्वायर्स मोर एनर्जी टू, द मसल्स रिक्वायर मोर एनर्जी टू मेंटेन इट देन द फैट. सो मसल बढ़ाने से ये भी फ़ायदा होता है कि अगर आपके बॉडी में मसल परसेंटेज बढ़ेगा तो अपने आप आपका मेटाबॉलिज्म, आपका BMR भी बढ़ जाएगा, विच इज़ लाइक आप अपनी जो कैलोरी बर्निंग है वो आपकी काफ़ी बढ़ जाएगी. सो आपको एफर्ट्स उतने ज़्यादा डालने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, राइट? दूसरी बात, व्हेन यू हैव द मसल्स एट द राइट एज, लाइक इफ़ यू हैव स्टार्टेड डूइंग स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग एट द राइट एज, देन इट हेल्प्स यू like age gracefully. When I say age gracefully, you will not have sagging skin, you will not bend, you will not starting to bend after a particular age, even after you hit your menopause, which is like stopping the menstruals, when the menstrual cycle stops. After that also you can continue with a good life, you can look good, look confident, look smart. So the benefits are amazing. You just have to explore it to see what all it can do. The way you feel, it helps with your mental health also. A lot of people, when they hit a lot of women in particularly, when they hit the perimenopause time, when the menopause is about to start. So that is the time when they start facing a lot of issues. Hot flashes आएंगे, memory lapse होते रहती है, उनको चीज़ें भूलते जाते हैं, और भी मतलब मेंटली दे फील इरिटेटेड, एंग्जाइटी रहता है, वेट गेन ऑल ऑफ अ सडन उनका बढ़ने लगता है, विसरल फैट बढ़ता है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें होने लगती है. अगर आपने वेट ट्रेनिंग सही टाइम पे चालू किया है तो ये सारे चीज़ों को हैंडल करने का आपके पास एक ब्रह्मास्त्र आ जाता है, आई वुड से. इट्स दैट इम्पॉर्टेंट.
राइट. नाउ एज यू सेड, मेनोपॉज आता है, दो पार्ट है. अभी मेनोपॉज पीपल आर अवेयर ऑफ इट, they know it. Perimenopause is something which is talked out, but there is a lot of misconception. So can you clear to the listeners that what is perimenopause?
So for general understanding of all of us, perimenopause is a time when your menstrual cycle in a woman starts getting irregular. Okay, that's the indication that your menopause is coming closer. Menopause is the time when your menstrual cycle stops totally. So ये जो time आता है, perimenopause can start, अभी तो थोड़े और लेट 30 से भी चालू होता है. यूजुअली इट्स कंसिडर्ड एज 40 से लेके 45 तक कभी भी स्टार्ट हो सकता है. मतलब वंस यू आर इन 40s इट कैन स्टार्ट एट एनी टाइम. इफ़ यू हैव बीन टेकिंग केयर ऑफ योर हेल्थ इट कैन गेट लिटिल डिलेड. और if there are times, I mean there is no fixed time or fixed age that you start your perimenopause. So that is the time there are certain symptoms that your body starts showing up, that your body is going to go through certain changes. There will be certain symptoms that will become obvious, and that once you go and talk to your gynec, that gynec will tell you, okay, these are the symptoms of perimenopause and you need to do so and so things to take care of it. So it's basically a phase. The way the boys and girls hit their puberty or the menstrual cycle starts in a girl, वो एक phase रहता है when you see a lot of hormonal changes. This is again a phase when you see again a lot of hormonal changes. The only thing is the decline of all the hormones, the level starts going down. Estrogen, which is the most important hormone in a woman's health, that starts fluctuating, and that creates a lot of pains, aches, and a lot of weight issues, the mental, brain fog. Mentally you start feeling anxious, disturbed. So all these things are connected. These symptoms are connected to perimenopause. So there is no fixed symptoms which will tell you have hit your perimenopause. It's a list of symptoms. But yeah, you definitely need to make a visit to your gynec and do the right things to,
Right.
pass through this phase properly.
Okay. Now, again, one question related to women health is because as we talked कि पहले बहुत सारा काम होता था. Earlier days there used to be in earlier generation, not even days. Now that days वाला बात चला गया, it's earlier generation. The kind of activity was there in earlier generation, and today it has gone down to a great extent. Even if you are a housewife, even then cooking was always there on the cards earlier. Now cooking has also gone away. So we have maids coming up, they quickly cook, and so activity has gone down. Even routine homework. So that all has stopped.
Right.
So that leads into a very big vacuum. And at the same point of time when they don't have activity, they get into mobile, TV. इंडिया में तो डेली सोप्स चलते ही हैं उसी वजह से कि भाई फ्री टाइम है तो 3-4 घंटे चलता रहे. शाम की बात अलग है, फैमिली के साथ आप देखते हो अलग बात है, पर दोपहर में वही पूरा रिपीट टेलीकास्ट और 3-4 घंटे चलता है. तो व्हाट इज योर एडवाइस टू वुमेन दैट दे डोंट हैव दैट फिजिकल एक्टिविटी? So what should they do ideally?
So we are talking about the population which doesn't go to the fitness studio, gym, or
they don't have physical activity in any
the
form.
homemakers.
Homemakers.
Right. After sending their kids, they sit at home and watch TV or finish up the household work. Once they are done, they have nothing to do. So even for such women, I would say, if you think that you can't manage to go and join a gym or a fitness studio, the best thing is to start with simple mobility, or when I say mobility or flexibility drill, it's almost like the movements of your limbs, of your arms and of your legs, so that even while you are sitting at the sofa you can do certain movements. If you are talking to someone over the phone, you can just move around and talk rather than just sitting on your couch, right? So by incorporating all these simple things, they can make a lot of difference. One thing could be taking care of, because they are the in charge of घर पे जो भी बनता है, whether it's the cook who's cooking or they themselves are cooking, they are the in charge. So what gets cooked at home, they are the in charge, right? So they should know this is the age. You don't need, if you are not doing any activity, then why do you need so much of carbs, right? So carbs is a source of energy, and if you are not going to spend it, why do you want to eat it? You don't have to eat so much of carbs just to sustain. उसकी बहुत लिमिटेड रिक्वायरमेंट होती है. अगर आपको उस टाइम कुछ चेंज करना है तो द बेस्ट थिंग टू डू इज़ टू add more protein to the diet or to your regular meal plan. Just make sure that even if you do that, that will also be added in your kids' meal plate. That will also be added to your family's meal because you are the one who makes the call, correct? Takes the call on what to plan for the meal. That will help you for sure, first of all, if you are adding protein to your diet. So your appetite will go down. You need more protein because you don't have to eat so much of carb because you're not doing too much of activity. So changing the way you eat, changing how you eat, how much you eat, and keeping the movements in your life intact. कहीं पास में कोई जगह जा रहे हो, if you are going for getting some साग भाजी or anything, just go walk. Take a stroll, go in the evening, जहाँ मिलता है खाने के बाद उठा, after every meal, don't just sit and go sit on the couch. I know it's very difficult. If I'm not saying to hurt any feelings, but there are women you will see after eating, they'll just go lie down because they are tired. So the best thing is take out those 5-10 minutes, just walk after your meals. Even if it is a 5-minute walk, that really helps to regulate your glucose level. So these small changes, small things, if they incorporate, and when they do these things, the kids learn. Everybody at home gets conscious. So they are the change makers.
Right. Now, one question where we are talking about the social media and staying fit and looking great. Right. There's constantly now the life of an actress is under the scanner. I want to look like this, so I want to get fit. What's your thoughts on this?
See, trying to look good, being aesthetic, and everybody has aspirations. You, me, everybody. कभी ना कभी तो हमको भी ऐसा लगता था कि हम वैसे उनको फॉलो करें या ऐसे दिखे. There is nothing wrong in that. But blindly following something, some artist or some
Actress.
actress, film actress have given on the Insta platform, they are not the authority or the right person to talk about fitness. They can definitely share. Nobody can stop them because it's their Insta account, Insta handle. They can talk about it. They can try, plan, and motivate. But they should not be giving, those shortcuts and dropping those one-liners saying, by doing this, I just lost these many kilos, by just following this diet. Somebody would have suggested, these men or women in the media or the filmmaking, that you need to follow a plan. And from there, they pick up certain points and they put it on the Insta. And looking at them, the common janta, they start following that trend, which is the main problem point. So that is something that only will come with knowledge, with telling people, okay, there are certain good organizations, good trainers, good coaches. Just you have to hear from the right source. Don't follow random people. You can definitely get motivated with them, looking at them, you want to, but don't follow whatever they have been doing.
Right.
So it's a trend. It's a very bad trend, and it's not helping too many.
Great. You also highlighted the part that there are some celebrities, not naming anyone. I'm sure they do a lot of research before posting, and I would appeal to all the celebrities who are known to me and who are connected that please be responsible about what you're sharing. But yet, my question, one part of it stays unanswered is that if that actress is looking trim, and looking beautiful, we pursue to look like them. Because we don't know whether उन्होंने बोटॉक्स करवाया है, उन्होंने क्या सर्जरी करवाया है, उनके पास 5 लोग दौड़ रहे हैं उनको फिट रखने के लिए, उनको 1-1 ग्राम तोल के दिया जा रहा है. आप किसी को कॉपी नहीं कर सकते. सो तो ये कॉपी करने का ट्रेंड जो आ रहा है कि मुझे तो ऐसा ही दिखना है, मुझे तो इसकी शादी में यही कपड़े पहनने हैं, तो उसके लिए आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
So everybody is different and every body is different. Okay. You can't just closing your eyes randomly follow a person and start craving and start aspiring to get that kind of body. It is next to impossible. We are all built in a very different way. You may follow the same routine that I do in my workout. You can try eating similar kind of food, everything remains the same, but we too can give totally different outcomes and result. So first of all, it doesn't make any sense. Second, even if you're trying to do that, it's a total waste of time and energy, because as you rightly mentioned, they have a lot of people working for them and it's their profession to look good, to be there, to look a certain kind. You are aspiring, you can definitely aspire to have a good aesthetic looking body. You can aspire to look a particular way, but following someone, just keeping your eyes closed and thinking that I want to get that kind of body and I'll do exactly the same thing, is not the right approach, because it can lead to a lot of health issues. You don't know what your body is capable of or what your body is not capable of, and putting in undue pressure without knowing if that's the right way of workout can give drastic results. So better not to follow these paths blindly. And there is absolutely no sense in saying I want to look the way you want to look a particular way that your body can afford to look. So maximize your potential and see what your body is capable of, and you will see it's an ocean. You just need to give it the right opportunity, right kind of food, right kind of training, and you'll see a completely different you. So why not explore that rather than going and following someone and someone else's body? So
वो
that's
भी
what
है,
I think.
right? So yeah, we should not follow anyone blindly. One more aspect to it is that uh, the way social media algorithm works. As we work on social media, we promote content, we try and push content on internet which we think is right and it needs a platform to be shared. Now, if you like fitness content or if you want to lose weight, you start following those pages, and then Instagram or Facebook will start showing you what you started liking, because it's just following your commands. It's not making you see anything, but it is following your commands. You like to know about lifestyle, makeup, travel, तो वो दिखाएगा. आपको फिटनेस के लिए करना तो वो दिखाएगा. तो वो फिटनेस का कंटेंट देख के यू गेट ऑब्सेस्ड, और ट्रैवल का कंटेंट देख के यू गेट ऑब्सेस्ड. यू ट्राई टू रीच विच इज नॉट इन योर रीच. आई एम नॉट ओनली पुटिंग ऑन फिटनेस, आई एम पुटिंग ओवरऑल. मेरा ट्रैवल करने का बजट है कश्मीर जाने का या माउंट आबू जाने का, पर मैं सोच रहा हूँ स्विट्जरलैंड का. सेम वे फिटनेस में मेरे को अभी लोगों ने 50 किलो का वेट लॉस किया, लोगों ने 30 किलो का वेट लॉस किया, नहीं मेरे को भी एकदम से 6 महीने में 1 साल में कर देना है. और फिर वो कंटेंट बार बार दिखा के आपके ऊपर प्रेशर डबल करता जाएगा. तो उसके लिए लोगों के लिए क्या एडवाइस है आपकी?
पता नहीं वो फिल्टर कहाँ से आएगा. एक फिल्टर लगाने की ज़रूरत है, हम में, मुझ में, आप में, सबको. When we are consuming the internet or the Instagram content, you need to use that filter. You can't be consuming everything which is coming right in front of you. So वो फिल्टर कैसे आएगा, वो बात को थोड़ा डीपली समझने की ज़रूरत है. कि आपके सामने तो रील्स तो आप अगर स्वाइप करते जाएंगे तो वो दिखते ही जाएगा. एंड एज यू राइटली मेंशन, एल्गोरिदम इज समथिंग विच विल शो यू द सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ वॉट एवर यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन, इट विल शो द सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ कंटेंट टू यू. So you should be knowing that it could be a random person putting in something related to that thing that you are looking for. It could be someone who is a really a learned source, an educator or some good coach who is putting that content. So just dig deeper and see हु आर यू फॉलोइंग, नॉट ओनली ऑन नंबर्स कि बहुत लोग उसे फॉलो कर रहे हैं तो ज़रूरी नहीं है कि वो राइट कंटेंट ही डालता है. बहुत सारे इन्फ्लुएंसर्स ऐसे हैं, दोज हु आर बाइंग लाइक. सो डज दैट गारंटी यू good content? No, right? So you have to use your common sense. You have to use certain filters where you know ki I have to let go of these things even if they are coming right in front of me. I shouldn't be spending time on these kind of contents, or rather I shouldn't be consuming those contents, because that is what will take you again deeper into all the nonsensical things. If you start watching those kind of contents, it will again show you. So it's a very vicious circle. You can only guide and tell yourself and filter and give the content what exactly is required for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. You have said it very rightly that you will have to define the filter for yourself. आप कौन सा चश्मा पहन के देख रहे हो? जैसे लाल चश्मा पहनोगे तो लाल दिखेगा, गोगल्स पहनोगे तो दिन का रात हो जाएगा, रात का अंधेरी रात हो जाएगा. यानी
अगर आपको नॉलेज लेना है तो आप उन लोगों को, ऐसे पर्सनालिटीज़ को फॉलो करो, ऐसे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को फॉलो करो. WHO है, ACSM है, अगर फिटनेस से रिलेटेड कितने सारी अलग अलग बॉडीज़ है, तो वो जो डालते हैं जो हेल्थ से रिलेटेड, या फिर ऐसे जो बड़े फिटनेस कोचेज़ हैं, इंडिया के हो बाहर के हो, उनको जिनकी अथॉरिटी है उस सब्जेक्ट पे, जिस भी फील्ड से हो. अगर आप अपने क्या बोलते हैं मेकअप एंड आर्टिस्ट्री में उसमें है, तो उस फील्ड के जो नोन पर्सनैलिटीज है, फॉलो देम रादर देन फॉलोइंग रैंडमली विथ लाइक, इवन इफ आई पुट अ makeup and I put my photo and tell people that okay, this you can get in quick 2 minutes and you can look this good. That's not how it should be done.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing such very interesting insights. And this moves to the last question, which is quite ignored. It's men's health and men's mental health. So, abhi, why is men's mental health too ignored? Because the men are strong people. They've been positioned as strong people, and they cannot open up on the various struggles. Maybe he's leading the family, so he will have to be strong, because if he gets weak, everyone else goes haywire. So same way, because of this situation and this situation in the family, the men often don't talk about it. If they have friends, they might feel lighter and they can talk, but at few instances they don't even have that, where everything they cannot talk. So what would you like to say about it?
A very common saying when it comes to when men want to express, or when men want to cry, or when men want to express something emotionally, we just commonly say, man up, come on, I mean, this is not the time, don't cry like a girl. So you see, this is embedded in our culture itself. We are the culprits. क्यों ऐसा क्यों है? मतलब if women can cry, women can talk about all these issues, or mentally if they are struggling, they are free to express, why not men? I mean, at the end of it, we are two parts. We are running for the same thing in the same direction, although we are built up in a different way. But there is mental health, उनकी भी असर करती है, mental health women की भी असर करती है. So for men, I think it is important, as you rightly mentioned, if you have good friends, you will talk to them. And if they understand, usually लड़के या कैसे होते हैं कि उड़ा देते हैं, क्या रो रहा है, छोड़ना. मतलब that is something very, sometimes it gets very insensible. Right. So that is there. If you don't have that, if you have a partner at home, you should gather up the courage to talk. You need to open up. If your partner will listen, maybe with time or with the circumstances, things have changed and they get so busy, they're not even, because we have been, tuned like that, okay, we don't need to ask our men how they are feeling, what they are feeling emotionally, how are they doing. So maybe it's the time that you go and take outside some time and talk to them and express. Look for a therapist if you are okay with a therapist को बहुत हवा मानते हैं. No, I mean, they are like magicians. They can just sit and listen to you and your half of the problem gets sorted. You just need to vent out. आपको कहीं कुछ बोलना और express करने के लिए कोई जगह चाहिए होती है, and they are an amazing set of people who can help you with.
Right.
So आपके घर का environment अगर चेंज हो या इतना हेल्दी हो जहाँ आपको इस तरह से नहीं बड़ा किया गया है कि तू लड़का है, चल ना, मतलब रो मत, तू इस चीज़ के लिए नहीं कर, या ये तो तेरे को करने का बनता है, इसके लिए पीछे नहीं हटना है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स, ये इतना तो उठा ही सकता है ना. इफ़ दे कांट फिजिकली, इफ दे आर नॉट केपेबल और नॉट एज पर सोसाइटी स्टैंडर्ड, इमोशनली इफ दे आर नॉट केपेबल, or mentally if they are struggling somewhere, they should be allowed to express themselves. You have to just give them the platform. You need to open up. You need to give that freedom, give that confidence to them that, okay, you can also talk, you can also cry, you can also express, and it's okay. If you fail, if you go to a gym and if you're not able to lift the kind of weight the other guys are lifting, and if you start with very less weight, that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the environment that you need to create for a person to, express. And these are the things or just struggles that they are facing, even if it's a family issue or a partner issue. So they should be allowed to talk, and they will only be able to talk if you are giving that environment to them, if you're making them, speak up.
Right, right. But in Indian culture and Indian society,
It's
often men who are vulnerable, sometimes if they get vulnerable,
vulnerable.
then they're seen as weak men.
Yeah, that's the narrative that we need to change. It's very important. मतलब अगर हम बोल ही ऐसा रहे हैं कि हमारी सोसाइटी में ऐसा है, that means the flaw is deeply rooted, and maybe our generation, maybe the generation after us, make this a very evident thing that, okay, nothing doing, even as the way women are allowed to express emotionally or physically or whichever way, even men should be allowed to do that. Should be allowed, kya? They should be doing that for themselves if they really want to maintain that sanity, because these are tough times. If you don't express, if you keep it within you, there are a lot of things that can go wrong in your body. That mental thing can cause a lot of physical illness in you.
Suppression करोगे
It
तो
could
कहीं ना
be
कहीं तो असर आएगा ही.
BP के issues होंगे, diabetes, anything, any issues can go. It can, lot of stress can give. There are, studies which shows if there is lot of stress और आपने निकाला नहीं है, किसी से बात नहीं की है, it gives rise to cancer also. It can get that bad.
Yeah. Heart attacks are highest in the men.
So that's precisely the reason you have to give them that area, that scope to speak up, to get halka and get, just
Easy,
okay with
easy
their
going. It's all right to be having some
emotional
plus and minus,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
no one is perfect in this world.
Absolutely.
And everyone is not supposed to be perfect because they're different. Everyone will be unique. So that's how it is. So bottling up emotions is going to lead lot of problems. So that's
It's
very
better to
important.
vent it out.
Yeah, it is better to open up, talk to people, have friends.
And you can't just be doing it once. You should be doing it every time. You don't have to sit on those things. You need to go meet your friends, whosoever you feel comfortable with. Maybe your mother, maybe your spouse, maybe your friend, whosoever it is. Or
Right.
if you don't get anyone in your family, go out, reach out to a therapist.
Right, ma'am. Right, right. So it was very insightful, and thank you for taking out so much of time and also sharing such insightful knowledge. Thank you very much, Rituji, and we'll continue this collaboration in a very stronger way, where we come and exchange ideas, come and exchange thoughts, and we help people. And it's been very insightful for me as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vishwam, for having me here. And I really love talking about all these topics because these are the topics for general population. We were not targeting anyone specific, those who are really working out or some fitness fundas. So these are very basic things that we need to take care of.
Absolutely.
And I hope it reaches more and more people and people understand why wellness and taking care of your health is important in these days and time.
Right. And ma'am, one more thing to add over here about the last conversation you had with uh, Parth Adyaru. So this was the first experiment where we said that let's have another series of videos coming out where maybe two experts can interact on one aspect which is very important, that's health and fitness. So how was that experience?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, when you sit with a person, you exchange thoughts, and when you know that person has the same wavelength, it really, and there are times when you know certain things, but it goes, at the back of your mind. And suddenly, when you listen to such insightful thoughts from a person who is with so much of experience in physical fitness and in mental fitness, so amazing. I mean, it was a superb idea. I really loved talking to him,
Right.
and I gained quite a lot of knowledge from that.
What would you like to share it to our listeners and viewers? What should they expect out of that podcast?
So we were talking about, again, for general population, for making them understand the basics of fitness, basics of health, basics of wellness, and what are the things that can help you to stay on track, especially for beginners or especially for people who want to get into fitness. So if you really want to know more about those things, you can watch that podcast. It's very insightful, and you can always get in touch with me, Ritu, at Ritu's Fitness Hub, and Parth Adyaru. So we'll be happy to help you and guide you and show you the direction how you can start, what you can start with, and how to go ahead in your fitness journey.
All right. Thank you very much for giving the whole day to us. And
Thank you.
as
Thank you.
at Variety with Vishwam, and as the podcast which we talked about, where Rituji and Parth had come together for the podcast, is coming out on Varietyverse. Varietyverse is one initiative where we are inviting different people, and I'm trying to produce content which will really help you explore various aspects and take it ahead. Thank you.